He concluded by entrusting them to the Blessed Mother and praying that each of them enjoy God's eternal love, beauty, happiness, and wisdom.
I'm hoping that the more evidence I can show Catholics that they are serving the adversary, that eventually we'll start getting some to come out of that church that they're in. What I intend to do is show Catholics the proof that the Queen of Heaven is the prince of the power of the air that is mentioned in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2. I apologize in advance because I didn't write down a script for myself, and this could possibly get messy because as I learned last week, looking up the symptoms that I have what's called I can't remember what it's called anymore. But anyway, I have a non-linear thought pattern, and it's very difficult for me to not go off track and whatever. So just bear with that, keep that in mind as I attempt to show proof that the prince of the power of the air is the Queen of Heaven. So in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 2 we read, "Wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience." Now what brought this to mind was earlier, I guess I had just finished watching, I was at work, and of course I should be working, but sometimes I take some time to check out videos on YouTube, and I was watching the video about the Roberto Rivera, I think that's his name. His admission that the Catholic Church had created Islam, and that and well, okay, anyway, so I was watching that, and briefly after that I had responded to a comment on the video that I have called The Spirit of Whoredoms, and that had got me thinking, because well, not many people know in the Bible that there is a such thing as a spirit of whoredoms. It's mentioned twice in the Bible, and Hosea 4:12 and then Hosea 5:4. I'll read one of them for you now. So reading, "My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms has caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God." So God mentions in the scriptures twice that there is a spirit of whoredoms. So while thinking on this and the fact that so few people know about the spirit of whoredoms, it kind of made me think of also of the spirit that, what is it? How does Ephesians say it? The spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. I believe that is the spirit of whoredoms. And so what I will do here is show that the Queen of Heaven is the prince of the power of the air. Looking at the words for prince here in the Greek, it is archon. Archon here means ruler, commander, chief, leader. First in rank or power, chief ruler, magistrate, prince, ruler. Down here in the Strong's, the Thayer's Greek lexicon, let's see, ruler, commander, chief, used. Let's see how it's used. Of the ruler of nations. Sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. Have some work being done on the bathroom in the house. Okay, so that is the definition of prince: a ruler, a commander, a chief, or a magistrate, right? Let's look at power, exousia. Exousia, power of choice, liberty, doing as one pleases, leave, permission, physical and mental power. Let's go down here because there's a lot of definitions to it. The power of rule or government. Let's go down here. So the definition: privilege, subjectively force, capacity, competency, freedom, or objectively mastery, concretely magistrate, superhuman, potentate. More down here. Let's see. Power of choice, liberty. I don't really think that adds to our understanding at all, but anyway, it's power or authority, right? So we're talking about the ruler, or the power or authority of the air. Let's look at air. So the air, particularly the lower and denser air as distinguished from the higher and rarer air, the atmospheric region. So down here in the lexicon, the air, let's see here, in Ephesians 2 verse 2, signifies the ruler of the powers, spirits, in the air, the devil, the prince of the demons, that according to Jewish opinion fill the realm of the air. Alright, so we're talking about the ruler of the power or authority of the air. Now, I want to look at also how air is used in the Bible. So, in Acts 22 verse 23, and as they cried out and cast off their clothes and threw dust into the air. We already read Ephesians. 1 Thessalonians 4:17, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Revelation 16:17, and the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, it is done. So, it's important to see how these words are used in the scripture, because you don't want to just go off the definition alone. So so for exousia, we're looking at the word for power, first of the power of the air. So let's see how it is used for power. Matthew 7:29, for he taught them as one having authority, not as the scribes. Matthew 8:9, for I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. I say this to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. And Matthew 9:6, but that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. Then he saith to the sick of the palsy, arise, take up thy bed, and go into thine house. So the word for power means authority, power, authority. So, I forgot, let's look at how the word archon is used, why not? Alright, so, Matthew 9:18, for the word prince. While he spake many things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler, and had worshipped him, saying, my daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. Matthew 9:23, and when Jesus came into the ruler's house, he saw the minstrels and the people making a noise. Okay, so Matthew 9:34. But the Pharisees said, He casteth out devils through the prince of the devils. But when the Pharisees, Matthew 12:24. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow does not cast out devils, but I already read that. But by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. Matthew 20:25. But Jesus called unto them and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles have exercised dominion over them, and that they are great, exercise authority upon them. And they that are great exercise authority upon them. Alright, so in this Matthew 3:22, and the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said, He hath Beelzebub, and by the prince of the devils casteth he out devils. Luke 8:41. And behold, there came a man named Jairus, and he was a ruler of the synagogue, and he fell down at Jesus' feet and besought him that he would come into his house. Okay, so I think that's enough of that. Okay, so let's get to Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 18, where we read about the children gathering wood, the fathers kindling the fire, and the women kneading their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. Now, I don't think this is a title that this person bears or this thing bears in vain. So Queen, Malekith, pretty straightforward queen, but you know, that's a ruler, right? A queen is a ruler. Okay, so reading down here in the lexicon of the Chaldean form, as on the contrary, from a queen, it only occurs in Jeremiah 7:18, 44:17 through 19 and 25, in which passages the Queen of Heaven, to whom the women of Israel pay divine honors, is either the moon or Astarte, i.e. the planet Venus. And we all know that another name for the planet Venus is Lucifer. And I guess while we're on that subject, let's just show that. Let's just see what the Bible says about that too. Now, of course, this could be talking about an earthly king, right? But we know that the Queen of Heaven is linked to Lucifer. So Lucifer, light bearer. I don't know. Sometimes I see light bringer, but anyway, some say light bearer. Helio, that's the name for Venus. In the sense of brightness, the morning star, Lucifer. Okay, so Helio is the name for Venus. And another thing we can do, Lucifer, the morning star. Some people say, I'm not even going to bring that up. I'm not even going to bring up that some people try to say Jesus is Lucifer. It's just stupid. So Ashtoreth. This is one of the things that Solomon unfortunately fell for. So Ashtoreth, star, the principal female deity of the Phoenicians, worshipped and wore infertility. Now let's see here, goddess of love, right? Venus. Reading down here, I have no doubt that the name itself, the origin of which was long a matter of inquiry, is the same as the Syriac from, I can't read those things, but basically means star. Her name means star, especially the planet Venus, the goddess of love and fortune. For this latter reason, also called, can't read those. So Venus, Ashtoreth, star, Astarte, the Queen of Heaven, right? That is the prince of the power of the air. Now let's also compare I didn't have this ready. Heaven, or Shamayim in Hebrew. Heaven, sky, visible heaven, sky, as above the stars, visible universe, sky, atmosphere, heaven as the abode of God. So, dual of an unused singular from an unused root, meaning to be lofty, the sky, aloft, visible arch, in which the clouds move, as well as the higher ether, where the celestial bodies revolve, the air. Let's look down here. I think we just read some of that. Let's see if so it's all used. It's mostly all used with the heaven, but there is a use of the word air here in Genesis 1:26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and let the fowl of the air, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. I accidentally clicked that, I guess. So what does it show? I know it shows. Here we go. It's used for heaven 398 times and for air 21 times. Let's go back to the word air, the Greek word, because we're talking about the prince of the power of the air here. Here we go. It's never used for heaven, but it is used for air 7 times. This is a Greek word we're talking about. But heaven is used for air. Air is not, however, used for heaven. But anyway, I think that still gets the I lost. Where's it at? There it is. So anyway, I'm trying to show, especially the Catholics, that there's no there should be no doubt, at least in my mind, that the Queen of Heaven, so-called, is the prince of the power of the air. That is, Lucifer is undeniable. I hope it reaches someone who is in the church, the Catholic Church, and who I don't know, I guess only God can do it right. We plant seeds and God gives the increase. So thank you for bearing with all of my rambling and going off in various directions. I think I said everything that I needed to say. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Jesus bless you.
Qui pro nobis natura